Thanks to those joining me live, to those that will be joining me on Archive, D-Style Boxing. Here, if you're listening to Archive, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and thumbs up the video. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's been listening to my World Cup videos. I do thank you very, 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 very much. All right. So I saw some of the games today, and I gotta say, man, I was pretty disappointed. All right, I gotta say, okay. And just in general, this World Cup has been, for me anyway, pretty disappointing. I have to say. Okay, I mean tomorrow we'll have Denmark versus Australia. I believe Denmark should win that game, but Australia could pull off an upset. France versus Peru. I got France winning that. Probably 1-0, maybe 2-0. Argentina versus Croatia. That's going to be a very good game. And if Argentina plays the way they did their last game, Croatia will win that game, right? And I'm actually going to say now, I think that game ends in a draw, right? It's going to be a really good played game, but I think don't be shocked if Croatia pulls it off though. You know, if Croatia may very well win that game, and I think Croatia's a little underrated. I got them winning it, right? That's going to be for tomorrow. Let's talk about some of the games I've kind of missed here, all right? So I had already talked about Brazil, Switzerland, ended in a draw. Very disappointing performance by Brazil. Hopefully they come out stronger the second time around in the second game. But Switzerland is no slouch, but at the end of the day, Brazil should have won that game. Sweden versus South Korea. Both teams did not look that good. Okay, I think they look pretty weak, to be honest with you. Both teams. I'm pretty convinced that Germany and Mexico will advance out of that group. Okay, personally. Now I want to talk about Monday really quick, all right? Because two teams, Belgium, right, dominated Panama, right? Now that to me that was expected. Maybe not 3-0, but it was expected. I wasn't surprised by that result whatsoever. Good win for Belgium. They get the 3 points. Expected victory, but I think they're in good position now to, I believe anyway, that they will beat England when they meet. And it's going to be a good game, man. I can't wait for that game, but I think Belgium's going to win that group, right? And I do see Belgium at the least, making it to the quarterfinals, but I wouldn't be shocked if they make it, to the semis. And I'm telling you, they are my dark horse pick to go all the way. So it's already been a good start for Belgium. Tunisia versus England. Expected a win for England. But I think they're right for the picking for Belgium, I think, from what I saw. Again, games could vary, so we'll see. I mean, either team could win that game, but I'm still holding strong to Belgium winning that group. All right, now, very shocking result to me, although I did not get to see this game, so I just want to put that out there, but I do know there was a red card. Right? I saw some of the highlights, but Colombia losing to Japan was very, very surprising to me. I was a little surprised, right? I know that Japan, especially for the World Cup, I mean, they come to play. Okay, they come hard. They don't give up. All that. But I just felt like Colombia is just a superior team and should comfortably win a competitive game, let's say. But it wasn't just competitive. I mean, Japan took it, obviously, right? It was 2-1. I'm not exactly sure when this red card happened or if it was even a factor, but um, Colombia is not in a good position, right? It's things are not good for Colombia. Um, we'll see where Colombia goes from here. I mean, what can I say? I want to talk about Poland versus Senegal. Senegal is my other dark horse. I told people, watch out for Senegal, right? Do not sleep on Senegal. Don't do it. They defeated Poland. That was an expected result for me. 2-1 is pretty much what I expected. Got to be honest, right? That sounds about right to me. Another game, however, that I did not get to watch, but looking at the scoreboard here, it's not surprising to me that Senegal won this game. Now, if I could pull up the stats here really quick. Poland scored a late goal, so there you go. Senegal, however, don't sleep on them, all right? Russia versus Egypt, a game I did watch, all right? So game 2 for these two teams. Russia gets to play 2 teams from the Middle East, all right? You know, how convenient for Russia, okay? Russia's pretty much in now. I mean, really. I mean, it's with the amount of goals they have, 6 points. Russia's pretty much going to the round of 16. A lot of people saying, I'm surprised by that. I'm not. It is a host nation. I did predict that they would be second in the group. It's going to come down to the winner of because if they tie against Uruguay, they'll win the group. If they beat Uruguay, obviously they win the group. So Uruguay has to beat Russia. Okay. That's going to be a game to watch right there. Right. That's going to be a game to watch. Russia versus Uruguay. Russia's playing really good. I do have to factor in who they're playing, but I mean, they're doing a better job than Uruguay did. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of surprising to me. Although it doesn't quite work that way. You can't quite, do that. You can't say, well, they beat them better than this team, so this team should win. That's not the way it works. Really. But nonetheless, it's still surprising. Russia, 3-1. I got to say, against Egypt, very, very good. Okay. I mean, who knew? I mean, going in, they said Russia was the, last ranked team and the lowest ranked team, I'm sorry, in the World Cup. But once I looked at that group, I said, they got to advance, right? Once I looked at the group, I told myself, Russia's got to get through. They're going to at least get a win over Saudi Arabia, at least get a draw or a win over Egypt. They might get a draw over Uruguay. The way they're playing, they might even beat Uruguay. Uruguay might lose, and I'm going to make my prediction right now. I think that game, I do believe it's going to end in a draw. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be 0-0, right? I think Uruguay's going to come prepared. I think they've seen enough in the first 2 games here to break them down a little bit, okay? I think they're going to slow down the tempo. I do think Uruguay plays much better in the midfield. I think they're going to control the possession and limit the opportunities that Russia can create. So it's not going to be as exciting to watch the Russian score like it was against Saudi Arabia or even this Egypt game. But I think Uruguay will do that. But I think they're going to play very safe. It's going to be a very safe game, very reserved. I think both teams at that are just not going to want to waste a lot of energy here. Okay, so I just think, it's going to be a slow tempo game, which will favor Uruguay, but I think it's going to end in a draw. I think it's going to end in a draw. Not enough firepower. Suarez just isn't enough, right? It's just not enough firepower behind that Uruguay machine, at least not from what I've seen. Okay? I mean, you can't play Egypt and Saudi Arabia and in 2 games only give me 2 goals. You know what I mean? I mean, they're playing And not only that, they had some scary moments against Saudi Arabia. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So if Russia wins, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm predicting a draw here. I think Uruguay, they got to get it together. I mean, it's the third game of the group already. Got to get ready for the knockout round. They got to get it together, and I think they will here. But Russia's on fire, man. Russia is on fire. I got to tell you. Okay. Let me back here. All right. By the way, one of the Russian players, I forgot his name, tied with Ronaldo for the most goals in the World Cup so far. That's insane. I think his little Cinderella story is going to end in a little bit, right? But I will say, though, great stuff. Let me talk about this game. Portugal versus Morocco. I tuned into this game late. I had some stuff to do. I tuned in to the second, like kind of in the middle of the second half, right? And I saw a score 1-0 Portugal. Like, okay. I mean, I would be okay with that if I didn't notice that Portugal was playing like trash in the last 20 minutes that I saw. They were playing like trash. In fact, let me tell you, it was so bad. I thought for a moment, I thought the ones in red were Portugal. Okay? Like for a second, I was like, damn, Portugal was almost going to score again. And then I saw Ronaldo in the white jersey. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What's like they had Portugal on their heels. Portugal's very fortunate that this game was not tied. Very fortunate. And sometimes spectacular goals will give people amnesia, right? Because the reality is, when you really look at that game with Spain versus Portugal, which did end in a draw, right? But when you really look at it, Portugal was given a penalty, but let's say it was legit. But nonetheless, the first goal that they scored was a penalty. Okay, that's the truth. It was a penalty kick. So Spain was down 0-1. The second goal Ronaldo made, right? Credit to him for making it, but 9 out of 10 times that goal is going to block that goal. Okay, he should have blocked that, right? That goal was weak sauce in terms of as far as the goalie not blocking that, right? Also, the third goal was it was a set piece by Ronaldo. It was a beautiful goal. But at the end of the day, I mean, that could have easily have been 3-0 Spain. You know, that's just the way it is. Fine. Now I'm looking at this game against Morocco. Hey, Ronaldo I saw it in the replay, he made a spectacular goal early. That should have set the tempo for you to dominate the rest of that game. But I mean, they were hanging on for dear life in a game against Morocco. Look, I'm not saying Morocco's trash, but come on, they're not a powerhouse either, right? I'm just putting that out there. Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia. What can I say about this game? What can I say about Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia? What can I say about this game? I mean, I touched on it earlier, but what can I say? What's going on? Saudi Arabia? Like what? If it was 1-0, but it was like, man, Uruguay was just blazing out there. It was easy, right? Like this was a competitive game, at least for the most part. I think it was clear to see Uruguay was a better team, but I mean, it just wasn't what I would expect out of a quality team, right? Like Uruguay against a team like Saudi Arabia. Now, I don't know how I end up watching all these Saudi Arabia games. It just kind of happens. Okay, but I don't plan around it, but I always end up watching the Saudi Arabia games. And they're trash, man, right? I just got to call it like it is. I honestly believe Saudi Arabia is the worst team in this World Cup, right? But the credit to Uruguay, at the end of the day, they got the 3 points. I get it. But there was a lot of close calls in there. A lot of close calls. I saw a lot of intercepted balls that should not have been intercepted. Uruguay, they just looked lazy in there. at times. I don't know. They're just playing down to the level of their competition, but hopefully playing host nation Russia will wake them the hell up. Because if they don't wake the hell up, they're not going to go anywhere, okay, in this tournament. They better wake up ASAP, all right, because it's one of those teams that is just struggling, and it's just embarrassing, right? You're representing South America, and you're struggling against Saudi Arabia, right? This has not been a good, good World Cup for the South American teams at all. Okay. Colombia losing to Japan, right? Brazil getting the draw. Argentina barely squeaking out a victory against Iceland, right? Uruguay just squeaking out a victory over freaking Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Did I mention Colombia losing? There you go. It just hasn't been a good run so far, okay? They got to wake the hell up, or we may see the worst World Cup performance by South American general, period, if they don't wake the fuck up. I'm telling you right now, right? Iran versus Spain. Spain, what's going on? How do you get 3 goals against Portugal, but you can't? I mean, I don't know. Like, I know it doesn't work that way. Like, every game has its own kind of story. But, look, Spain did a good job with possession and all that. Okay? They play beautiful into pitch. Okay? But I just think it should have been even a more dominant performance. Like it's – I don't know if it's the second game blues. I don't know what's going on with these second games, right? It's just we're just not seeing these spectacular performances, all right? So hopefully Spain can get it together. I'm not too worried about Spain. I mean, at the end of the day, the core of them is there. It just is, all right? But I think I'm a little more confident about them moving forward than Portugal. But like I'm just thinking to myself, like, if you replace, if you replace Iran with, let's say, Belgium, how does Spain do? And that's why I'm feeling real good about Belgium in this tournament, and even Mexico and Senegal. I'm feeling very good about these teams, right now, right. Tomorrow, I talked about it, Denmark, Australia. I'm expecting either a draw or Denmark squeaking it out. France, Peru, I'm predicting France winning that game. Argentina, Croatia, I'm predicting a draw. Brazil, Costa Rica, I'm predicting a Brazil victory. And I'm predicting that Brazil will wake up, and I think they're going to win like 3-1 or something like that. Okay, 2-0, 3-1. I'm expecting Brazil to win in spectacular fashion, right? They got to wake up, Brazil. Brazil, where are you? Right? Nigeria versus Iceland is going to be a very, very good game. Okay. I don't even know who to call in this game. You know what? I've been doubting Iceland way too much. I'm going to go with Iceland, right? Serbia versus Switzerland. So the game, this is, again, I'm covering the Friday ones right now. I got Serbia winning that game, right? Belgium against Tunisia. I got Belgium easily winning that game, 2-0, 3-0. Right? They're gonna get 6 points, and then we're coming for you, England. We're coming for you, right? Or Belgium's coming for you anyway, right? South Korea versus Mexico. Look, I don't want to jinx it, right? I don't want to jinx it, but I will say Mexico should win that game. Mexico should win that game 1-0, 2-0 without a problem, right? Now, it's going to be a much different game than the game with the Germans, okay? It's going to be a much different game. Now Mexico's in they got everything to lose, and the South Koreans got nothing to lose kind of thing, going on, right? South Korea is going to come out. I believe they're going to come out strong. Okay, I think they're going to. Those first 5 minutes is going to be fire. They're going to come out and they're going to come out strong. Okay, try to catch Mexico by surprise. Mexico's got to, if they weather that early storm, like if South Korea does not manage to score a goal in the first 10 minutes, right? Mexico's going to start controlling the midfield. Okay, they're going to tire out the South Koreans, and they're going to methodically pick them apart. Okay, they're going to get some. They're going to get into the box. They're going to create opportunities. They're going to create. They're going to get some off the rebound, get second chances, create corner opportunities. It's going to overwhelm the South Koreans. All right. I do believe, not like the German game. In this game, I'm predicting that Mexico will have the possession, at least 60%. I'm expecting here. Possession of the ball, at least 4 corner kicks. Right? If they don't have at least 4 corner kicks, they're not pressuring at the right moments like they should. Okay, I'm expecting corner kicks here. I'm expecting pressure at the right times, but at the same time, just slow down that tempo. Okay, at least from the games I've seen, South Korea, I mean, they're just a high energy team, and you got to just bring them down a little bit. You just bring them down a little bit, and control the passing. Those short passes in the midfield are going to be very important, but from the midfield to that box, I'm expecting some long passes from Mexico. Guardado is going to dominate the midfield, and I'm expecting a 2-0 victory at least for Mexico. 1-0 is definitely possible as well. That's one way. If things, when it's all said and done, that's how I think it should go. Now, if South Korea comes out, pops Mexico in the mouth, and gets a goal in early, then it's game on, right? Because I think historically, anyway, Mexico panics a little bit when they score on them, right? They're going to start pressuring maybe too much, and they might give up some possession in the process. The ball's going to be getting kicked around all over the place, and before you know it, South Korea's going to have some opportunities. I still think Mexico still wins if they score first, but it's going to make for a more exciting game, right? But that's the only way I see South Korea winning this game. They score early, and again, Mexico out of their comfort zone, and then boom, and before you know it, Mexico is just hustling, trying to get a damn goal, and they're not being smart about it, okay? So there was always a saying over here, a Mexico le echan un gol y no sirven, right? Like you put a goal in Mexico, and it's over. Like, they just don't play the same anymore. Hopefully that's not the case in this World Cup. You cannot panic when they score on you first. You can't change your game plan and what's gotten you to where you are, just because they scored a goal on you, especially if it's early in the game or in the first half. Okay, you have to keep creating those opportunities, keep playing smart. As long as Mexico does that, regardless of who scores first, they should win this game. Okay, that's what I got for that. Germany, Sweden, I got Germany winning this game. I think Germany's going to wake the hell up, right? I don't think they have a choice, because what are two things going to happen, right? I'm just going to lay it out. Either Germany wakes up and they dominate this game, or Germany is the mess that we've been hearing about, and either barely get out of here, or Sweden comes out victorious, right? So we're going to see. But I do believe Germany's going to wake up, and they're going to get their 3 points, right? I think that's what's going to happen, which will make things very interesting going into the third games. But there you go. England should beat Panama, right? Senegal, I'm predicting, will beat Japan. All right. These are the Sunday games. Poland, Colombia. On paper, it's a tough game, but I'm despite their loss to Japan, I'm still going to pick Colombia, even though I didn't even see the game with Japan, so I can't even tell you for sure. But I'm just going to pick Colombia for the sake of this video. Saudi Arabia versus Egypt. I think Egypt. I just think they're a better team. I think they're going to beat Saudi Arabia. It might end in a draw, but I got Egypt. Uruguay versus Russia. I think I predicted a draw for that. Portugal should beat Iran. Hopefully they have a better performance. Spain should beat Morocco. Right? Peru should beat Australia, in my opinion. I think Peru will win, but that will be their exit from the World Cup. France should beat Denmark. Argentina should beat Nigeria. Croatia, I do believe. Look, Iceland's been a nice story, right? It's been a beautiful story, but they're not going to beat Croatia. Okay, I got Croatia beating Iceland 1-0, 2-0, maybe 2-1, something like that. All right, Mexico, Sweden. I mean, again, I might change these picks depending on how the rest of the games twos go. But for now, I'm actually going to go with either a draw or Mexico winning. It just depends on how everything pans out, right? South Korea, I mean, that game, this game might come down to who's going to play Brazil, right? So that's going to be it could be a game you might have to see. It just depends on how the Germany game goes with Sweden. South Korea versus Germany, I'm picking Germany. I think Germany is all bad for South Korea, right? All bad. Like all those things I told you that Mexico's going to do, okay, like Germany's going to do that twofold to them, right? So it's all bad for South Korea. Switzerland, Costa Rica. Like I want to give Costa Rica, but I'm going to go with Switzerland, right? Serbia, Brazil. Brazil's got to win that game. Come on, Brazil's got to win that game. Senegal, Colombia, I got Senegal. That should have been a must-see game. It might still be a must-see game, but we'll see, man. Who knows what's going on with Colombia? Japan, Poland. I'm going to go with Poland. Right, I'm going to go with Poland. England versus Belgium. I got Belgium. I've been saying this since day one, right? I got Belgium. Not only winning the group, I got them with 9 points, and I got them beating England, right? At the very least, get into the quarterfinal. I got Belgium, right? What do you guys got to say about that? Right, so there you go. What do you guys from England got to say about that? Right, let's see. Panama versus Tunisia. Panama. I'm going to go with Panama with that, okay? And that's a full rundown for all that. That's a full rundown as far as all those games go. Let me pull up the chat, by the way. Hey, look, check it out. World Cup ratings. Now, for those that don't know, Fox outbid ESPN. I don't know if they outbid anybody else. I don't know if there's any other bids going on, but for sure I know they outbid ESPN, who had been hosting the World Cup previously, right? And they won the rights to the World Cup for 2018, 2022 in Qatar, and now 2026 North America, which will be hosted by the United States, 60 games here, Canada, 10 games there, Mexico, 10 games there, right? 80 games in total, which is insane. So the first thing I want to talk about was Fox, they outbid ESPN. And everybody was saying, I mean, once the United States did not make the World Cup, Fox lost a lot of money. I mean, that was money down the drain, right? But there's some good news, in my opinion, for Fox, okay? Some good news. So good news number one is that they have the rights to the 2026 World Cup. Okay, which is going to be in North America. So as far as an investment, it's already paid off for them right there. Okay, that means that the North American teams are going to have, or they should anyway, have either an automatic bid or entrance into the World Cup, or more than likely, United States and Mexico are for sure going to make it in. I don't know about Canada, but the ones that really need the automatic bid is Canada and apparently the U.S., and you never know. Mexico almost didn't make it 4 years ago, right? So, but more than likely they'll have the automatic bid, right? So some have argued, myself included, that's unfair. But in terms of for Fox, business-wise, this is good for them, right? But let's talk about this World Cup. So 2018. I mean, they've been getting from 3 to 4 million viewers. That's pretty good. I mean, that is pretty good. That's not bad at all, right? And we're not even at the knockout stages yet. Now, what kind of sucks for Fox is that I think they had like 4 million viewers for the Mexico-Germany game, which is good. I mean, Mexico does good. Apparently, it's good for Fox, right? And Brazil, I mean, got 4.1 million viewers. So apparently Brazil is good for Fox too, right? So I know Fox is probably worried about the South American teams not playing well, right? There's a lot of South Americans in the U.S., right? What kind of sucks for Fox is that Telemundo has the rights to the Spanish broadcast, right? Because the Mexico-Germany game did like 6.4 million or something like that viewers in the U.S. in Telemundo. And did which means in the U.S., over 10 million people watched the Mexico-Germany game. Over 10 million. On a Sunday afternoon when people are going to church, that is insane, right? So we know who's watching in Telemundo, the Hispanics and Mexican Americans, right? Maybe some younger Mexican Americans that primarily speak English, right? We're tuning into Fox, but we know just, average Joe America was watching that World Cup, right? Those are very good ratings. I mean, given the fact that you're not going to have the United States games, that is pretty good, okay? Sure, you got 13 million when the U.S. played, but, you can't frown upon 4 million. I mean, look, I'm a big boxing fan. If a boxing fight got 4 million people to tune in on a Sunday afternoon, I'd be fucking thrilled, okay? That just doesn't happen in boxing, okay? The fact that a sport that people say nobody wants to watch got 4 million people. And this is not, yes, it's the World Cup, but it's not the final. It's not a knockout stages. Nothing like that. Okay? Nothing like that at all. And the fact that Mexico versus Germany got 10 million people to watch it tells me Fox should get, I think Telemundo's expires in the year 2022. Fox should bid, right, for the Spanish right. They have Fox Deportes. They should bid for it. Mexico plays in 2026. You might get 13, 14 million people to watch that game. That's almost the same amount that the United States soccer team gets right now, right? So it might be worth it for you, right? So just think about that. By then, you can just have the SAP button, right? Have it in English, the same channel. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to listen in Espanol, press SAP. Boom, you get the Spanish commentators, right? That would be big for them, right? That would be big. Now, obviously, Telemundo is not going to go down. I mean, they want the rights, so they're going to fork out the cash, right? But 10 million for one game, over 10 million for one, that's a lot of viewers, right? That's a lot of viewers, folks. I don't know the numbers for the NBA Finals or anything like that, but isn't that around that ballpark? Like that's okay. So anyway, big news, big news. Those early games, they're getting pretty good ratings, man. Like, they're getting pretty good ratings for time slots where you're not even expecting to make ad money, but you're making ad money, right? So I don't know if they're going to break even on this first World Cup, but they're going to make some money, I think. And then, of course, you still have Qatar coming. The United States, it's very unlikely they're going to miss 2 World Cups in a row, right? And if I don't know if Fox will, if they were smart, they will televise the United States soccer games, okay, leading to the World Cup, okay? At least get something out of this story that they missed it and all that, right? So they can do that, right? But the big money maker is going to be in 2026. That's the big money maker for Fox, right? You just can't go wrong with that. And if they could get the rights to the Spanish version, forget it, man. The money they're going to make is going to it's just over the top, right? It's crazy the amount of money they're going to make. It's crazy, right? All right. And then I don't know how many people watch the World Cup in Canada, but Canada's going to be watching. I'm sure they'll have their own network over there. But if they were smart, they would get the rights to broadcast it in Canada too. I don't know if they could do that, but I would give it a shot. Right. With that said, right. So the ratings are good for the World Cup. For a sport that people say nobody wants to watch, people were saying, oh, the U.S. didn't make it, nobody's going to watch the World Cup. That's what they were saying. And I'm looking at these ratings, and they're pretty solid. Okay? Now, granted, right, Mexico against defending champions Germany, there are a lot of Mexican Americans in this country. Obviously, you're expecting that to get ratings, right? But then what explains Brazil, getting 100,000 more viewers in the Mexico-Germany game, at least in the English broadcasts, right? So I think there's a little more to it, right? So it looks to me like as long as Brazil goes deep here, right? Obviously, they get the ratings. If Mexico could go deep, they get the ratings. I think Germany has a lot to do with that 4 million as well. So obviously, if Germany can be successful and start winning the defending champions, that could be good for business, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. It's the way it is. All right. Russia. Look, man. Because Russia's been in the news so much. I mean, everywhere you hear, oh, Russia, Russia, Russia. Oh, Trump colluded with the Russians, right? If Putin's there in the game, it's going to get ratings. People are going to watch and say, oh, what's Putin going to do? Like if something's going to happen, it's a damn game, but people are going to tune in. So the Russians winning is good for ratings. I mean, it's for what it's worth. It's true, right? So Russians, Brazilians, Mexicans, Germans are good for ratings, all right? I don't know. And then obviously when it comes to the World Cup, there's a lot of ethnicities in this country, right? So there's a lot of South Koreans that are going to watch South Korea play, right? Japanese people will watch the Japanese play. People with German descent or whatever, they're going to watch German immigrants, whatever, they're going to watch the Germans play. Right? People with Brazilian roots are going to watch them. Argentinian groups, they're going to watch them. There's people with those roots here. So it's going to get ratings. So for all the pundits and everybody that said, oh my God, the U.S. didn't make it. I mean, of course, that hurt Fox. Right? But for those that said nobody's going to watch it and all this stuff, that's obviously not the case. Okay? And not to mention, I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I don't want to say from what I heard though, Ronaldo is good ratings too. All right. And you got all these sports analysts, as much as they annoy the shit out of me because they don't know what they're talking about Messi, Ronaldo, they're watching those games too. Okay. Just to see, like, just because they say Ronaldo's better, they tune in to watch Messi fail or whatever in the Argentinian game. Right. Like, or vice versa. Or, I say it. You got people just saying Ronaldo's the best of all time, so they tune in and they watch the Portugal game, right? And they're like, oh, well, he don't have no help. That's what's going on, and whatever it is, right? Ronaldo and Messi, I gotta say, more Americans know who those guys are today than knew the Brazilian Ronaldo back in 2002. More people know who they are. You know what I mean? Like, more people know them than they knew Ronaldinho from Brazil. So they're helping with the ratings. Why? Because that FIFA video game is popular, man. A lot of kids play that game, and they got into soccer because of it. More people than ever are watching the La Liga here in the U.S., right? This brings me to this whole thing. When people talk about the Big Four, I think, like, right now in the year 2018, okay, if you ask every American what their favorite sport is, 7% of them tell you soccer, right? 7%. And that's crazy because soccer is not my favorite sport. It's one of my favorite sports, and my favorite sport is boxing, okay? I would be, well, what's boxing? Is boxing even 1% nowadays? I don't know. Do 1% of people answer boxing when they ask them what their favorite sport is? I have no idea, but I fall under that category. But I'm sure there's people that soccer is not their favorite sport, but it's one of their favorite sports, or they're just getting into it, but it's not their favorite sport. So to tell me there's no room for it here is asinine. And it's going to surpass baseball in about 2-3 years. That's crazy to think, but it is. And when you tally up, now this isn't totality, so it's a little of an unfair statement, but I'm just putting it in perspective. When you tally in, like if you just go by MLS numbers, like obviously a lot more people watch MLB than MLS, right? Like I don't watch MLS. Like I'm just keeping it real, right? But with MLS, La Liga, Premier Championship, or Premier, not the Al Heyman. What am I talking about? The Premier League, okay, over there in England. All right, I was thinking like PPC. All right, but anyway, with the Premier League and international soccer and national friendlies and Mexico versus U.S. games and the World Cup and Confederates, Cup and whatever, soccer in the Olympics. When you tally it all up together, soccer is one of the most watched sports in the U.S. Right? Now, again, it's a little bit of an unfair, comparison. If you compare it to MLB, it's just like one league in the U.S. But I think you get my point, right? So the ratings have shown that there is an audience for the sport. And I think little by little, people are starting to understand it more. Okay, it's. I mean, not that it's hard to understand. I think everybody understands the game of soccer. It's not that hard to understand. Okay, some may not understand the offsides rule and stuff like that, but putting all that aside, everyone understands that the concept of the game is to get the ball in the goal, right? Between those bars. Everybody knows that. And if you do that, you get a goal and you get a point. Everybody understands it's the ultimate goal, pun intended, of the game. Okay? So it's not that hard. It's not that it's hard to understand. But the strategy of the game, the purpose of the game, all those things, right? The technique that is involved in the game, it is more and more Americans are starting to understand it. I can't explain to people that don't watch it and don't care for it about how exciting a game can get, because you have to be invested in it. Okay, you have to want to root for someone to score, and you have to have that. But it is one of the most exciting sports I watch. It's an exciting game to me. I'm not saying boring games don't happen. I'm not saying that. But when it comes down to it, it's a very exhilarating game. And I don't need the score to be 10-10 or 4-5 to be excited about it. I just don't. If you understand the game, if you understand what one team is trying to do, how one team's trying to counter, if you understand, even if they didn't get a shot on goal, that was a very close call or whatever the case is, it's a very exciting game to watch, right? In my opinion, but so with my opinion aside and looking at the facts and looking at these numbers, these are very good ratings. And these are better ratings than hockey. You know what? Let me look it up right now. Actually, can somebody in the chat just do me a favor? Somebody in the chat, look up the ratings. How many viewers there was for the Stanley Cup, right? Look, this is the Premier Championship in hockey, right? How many viewers the Stanley Cup got? Of course, we're comparing it to the World Cup here, but I'm just saying, when people are saying, oh, come on, nobody's going to watch it, this, that, and third, the facts are people are watching it, right? I apologize if I don't get through all the comments. I know I missed a lot of them. To everybody who said, what's up? I'm going to skip through those comments, but what's up? How's it going? Right? Sur says, Mexico, baby. Bruce, Portugal didn't look so good today. No, they didn't. Mexico can't underestimate Korea or Sweden. They better not. Morocco looks better than Portugal. Well, look, I only saw the last 20 minutes, as I said, and Portugal looked atrocious. And I even thought the ones in maroon or red were Portugal for like a minute or two. Like, I thought they were Portugal. Like, damn, Portugal, they really could, like this, they're dominating this game. It's really just 1-0 in the night. So like, wait a minute. What's going on here? Even though they lost 1-0, I agree. What's up, D-Style? Prince White Chime. South America haven't done well in the World Cup. Argentina didn't beat Iceland. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That was a draw. You're right about that. Yes. So even worse. Even worse. Russia has looked very good. It's a topsy-turvy world. Mexico's beating Germany, and Iceland drawing against Argentina, and Russia is looking like they've had the best performances so far. Like, what's going on over here? You guys are right. I know. Argentina titled ice. I still can't believe it. Look at this. I'm still in shock about that. All right. Morocco defense is legit, man. Morocco is underrated. Morocco's defender, Benatia, is an elite level defender. Ronaldo keeps bailing out Portugal. South Korea seems to be very physical. All right, AJ10. I like this World Cup. I feel like it's a slow burn. It will heat up as it goes. And you know what? As much as I'm complaining about the top teams, struggling, when you think about it, though, it's like the fact that there's no like clear cut, like, oh man, that team's gonna win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no clear cut right now at all. Like, no team looks unstoppable. Not yet. There's no team at all right now that I could say with confidence they're going to make the final. I can't say that right now. Right? So it's going to make for a very interesting and exciting, knockout rounds. The knockout rounds are going to be the round of 16, we're all going to be like, damn, are they going to come in with their A game or what? What's the biggest weakness of Mexico? Their inconsistency would be their biggest weakness, right? They're extremely inconsistent. They'll play their hearts out and be like a really good team or give them a run for their money, even if they don't win, and then they'll lose to like a fucking terrible team, A couple years back when they lost to fucking Jamaica, right, in the Gold Cup. I couldn't believe it, okay? I think Jamaica beat the U.S. in the final as well, actually. I might be wrong about that, but I think that happened. Right. From what I've seen Mexico games, they get scored on from counterattacks. They do. And ironically, Germany is so good with the possession that it didn't allow them to create more counterattacks against Mexico. They should have changed their strategy a little bit. They should have changed it a little bit. Mexico's biggest weakness is their defense at the back, says AJ10. They will struggle with pace. Well, South Korea does have pace, but they got to slow them down. South Korea has very good pace, but they struggle with organization. Very true. AJ10, Mexico should win versus South Korea like 2-0. Senegal is my dark horse, says AJ10 as well. Bruce, I think Lozano scores again. Will Lozano do the side step? Will do like I like that. I like that little slide to the right. I'm not gonna lie. It's really good. All right. It's really, really good. All right. Saudi Arabia is the worst team in the World Cup, in my opinion. Oh yeah, they're terrible. What up, D? Says Apple Type. What's up? AJ10. Something tells me Sweden scores first on Germany. And if Sweden beats Germany, man, I don't even know what to say to that. To be honest with you. I mean, I'm not knocking Sweden, but I'm just saying that's not what I'm expecting, It may get interesting. Now it might wake up Germany, though. Maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need Sweden to score on them early. Like maybe they need that. You never know. So it's weird how this game works out sometimes, Prince White Charmaine. Germany failed to beat Ghana in the 2014 World Cup. So possible Sweden and Germany draws. AJ10. Germany usually does bad against African teams for some reason. It could be the speed. I mean, they were having trouble with Mexico. Right? I mean, I'm not saying Mexico's slow, but they were having some trouble there. Prince White Charming. So that probably means Germany loses to France. All right. Probably. France, the African All-Stars. Okay, Bruce, Mexico has a massive fan base. Yes, they do. AJ10, Mexico is the second most supported side in the world after Brazil. Prince White Charming, which is astonishing, isn't it? I mean, that's crazy. AJ10 in the world, and he says yes. Well, Mexico is the 10th most populated country. I think it's 10th in the world. Plus, with Mexican Americans in the U.S., I mean, when you put it all together, like, damn, that's a lot of support. That's crazy. I mean, who's counting? You know what I mean? But that is a lot of support. Okay, Apple time. I'm glad Mexico beat Germany. However, I know nothing about soccer. It's all good. Prince White Charming, in this U.S., I can believe. AJ10, Mexico's population and the Mexican Americans. Bruce, the Mexican anthem before the game gave me chills. By the way, Prince White Charming, I know you know this probably, but when the U.S. plays Mexico in the U.S., aside from like the Northeast, like they play like in the Northeast or, you know, like in like somewhere like that, in Arrowhead Stadium, aside from something like that, maybe Florida or something like that, which they usually don't because they want to sell tickets, they want to sell money, they want to make money. You know what I mean? So, but usually it's a Mexico home game. Like, you know, it's like 60, at least 60, if not more, % Mexican Americans there, and most of them are supporting Mexico. So it's just to put it in perspective, right? And that's crazy, but it's true. Prince White Charming. Globally, that's not a very big chunk of the world's population. Age of 10. I watched some of the games on Telemundo. Some of the American announcers are bland. The perks of speaking Spanish. Prince White Charming. Eric Wilanda is the greatest announcer ever. Prince White Charming. D-Style, what do you think of people who say it's football, not soccer? It's obnoxious. Canadians, Australians, Enzers, they call it soccer too. Japan calls it soccer even. All right. So first of all, the term soccer originated in England. Okay? That's number one. All right? People can look that up if they want. The truth is there's different types of football around the world. Okay? So in the United States, we've been calling it soccer. Like when I think of the sport, I just say soccer. I can't help it. You know what I mean? Like when I say the word football, I'm thinking about gridiron football. That's what I'm thinking about. So, you know, I'm just not going to pretend. I'm not going to say football just to please everybody around the world. You know, as long as people know what I'm saying, it's all good, right? As far as what do I think? Look, it's association football, okay? That's what it is. Just like rugby football is you know, whatever. There's different types of football out there. But they all have, the roots are all the same, you know, as far as if you go down. But I really don't know what to think. I just know that if it offends them, then oh well. Like, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. Russia, AJ10, Russia may win their group. All they need is a draw versus Uruguay. Americans like star power, Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar. I forgot about Neymar, which could explain why the Brazil game got about 100,000 more viewers than the Mexican-Germany game. Okay, Prince White Charming NBA is all about star power. Boxing too, arguably. AJ10, this might be regional, but I know more kids who play soccer than baseball. Me too. In fact, as kids, man, around my area, we played baseball a lot. As kids, I'm talking like preteens. And by the time we were teenagers, we were playing soccer. You know what I mean? That's what we were playing. So, Skate Bailey should commentate the World Cup, says Prince Roy Charming. Right, 8810. The Premier League is on NBC Sports. It's accessible for American viewers. Prince Roy Charming, the NFL owners should buy the EPL teams and move them to the United States. Also buy Barcelona and Real Madrid. I don't know, man. Those teams are worth a lot of money, bro. I think Barcelona and Real Madrid are in the top 10, the most richest franchises in the world. Manchester's in the top 3 from the English Premier League, so it ain't that cheap. Plus, they're not going to make that much money out of it in the U.S. AJ 10, you can't explain soccer in 5 minutes. The hardest part is explaining the offsides. Is the offsides really that complicated? Is it? I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, it is a little hard to explain, but like come on, you got to know what it is, right? As long as you know where the at least the last defender is, right? I mean, and as long as you don't cross that defender before your teammate passes the ball to you, you're fine, right? I mean, it's not that complicated. All right, let's see here. In fact, I think I just explained it. All right, hockey and American football have offsides. OTO, there you go, yeah. Although the American football is their offside's a little different, I think. Age of 10, I think one of these billionaire American owners will have El Clasico, or a season of English Premier League match played in the U.S. in the next 5 years. Could happen. AJ10, La Liga MX will have one of their competitive matches played in Los Angeles. Interesting. All right. NHL Stanley Cup just got under 4 million. 4 million. So I know I'm way behind, guys. I'm trying to catch up, so forgive me. Team Hollywood Ruben Alvarez. Team USA is not in it for Fox in the past. ESPN highest ratings in the U.S. was in it for start in 1994 with ESPN, ABC at the time. 8-10, Mexico prefers to play friendlies in the U.S. because it makes more money for the Mexican Federation. Very true. Very true. Boxing fan, aren't you worried that Mexico underperforms when they play lesser teams? Of course I'm worried. If if Mexico loses to South Korea, or if they get a draw against South Korea, that's unacceptable to me. That's unacceptable. I'm not knocking South Korea. If South Korea wins, I will congratulate them. I'll say good job. But it's unacceptable to me that Mexico underperforms in that game. It just is. I mean, you've been waiting for years to be in a position to win your group and avoid a very tough opponent in the round of 16. Not only that, if you lose to South Korea, you're risking not even after beating Germany, you're risking not even advancing, which would be the biggest debacle ever. Miguel Mondragon says, you were right about Belgium, 3-0. Meba Boli. What happened to the guy that told me Panama was going to go all the way, by the way? Where's he at? What do you think about Spain? I mean, hey, Spain, I'm not worried about them. They're going to advance, and I still think they're going to do well in this tournament. We'll see. They're one of the favorites still, in my opinion. I feel better about them than Portugal, so we'll see. I just think they could have done better today. That's all. But, I mean, when it comes to Germany, they're no strangers to just beating everybody 1-0. So it's not a shocker, so. Haplotype, Prince Charming must have deep pockets. He's pocketing a lot of money, huh? B-Mars Boxing, Dallas Cowboys are number 1. Real Madrid and Barcelona are 2 and 3. Madrid and Barcelona already passed Manchester United in a way. Really? By the way, these Premier League teams and they're trying to make more money, man. They're catching up to the NFL teams quick. They're surpassing a lot of NBA teams and a lot of MLB teams. Like they're already surpassing baseball franchises and basketball franchises. Not the powerhouses, apparently they've already surpassed the fucking Lakers. Barcelona and Real Madrid are worth more than the Lakers. All right? Than the New York Yankees. That's crazy. Than the New England Patriots. That's insane. Let's see. Miguel now says, Pele is the GOAT. 3 World Cups with 12 goals, though, to beat that. But in this generation, Messi is the best to me. Haplotype says, Maradona. Pele was good in that movie with Stallone. I have no idea what movie that is. What movie is that? Okay. Mondragon says, is it Mondragon? I don't know. Maradona is probably the most spectacular, but he only has the World Cup over Messi. By the way, I mean, he did make that goal with his hand, though, in all fairness. You know. Haplotype, I met Maradona. Great guy. Prince White Charming. Is there any truth to the next FIFA World Cup that the FIFA World Cup be extended to like 38 teams or something? 38, I wish. Isn't it 48? I think it's 48. Boxing fan, which team looks the strongest to you so far? I mean, it's hard to say just because they've all played one game. Some have just played 2 games. I really want to wait to watch all 3 at first, and then I can give you that assessment for sure. But as crazy as it may sound, to people, Belgium. I think Belgium is the strongest team so far. I mean, you could argue Russia, but I don't know. I think the Russia Flames gonna go out soon. You know what I mean? Prince White Charming, D-Style, do you play FIFA games? No, I don't. I don't play video games. Haplotype, not worth more than the Laker girls, though. Probably not. Bruce, soccer is the biggest sport, period. In the world, it is, yes. AJ10, 48 teams starting in 2026. That's a lot of teams. I mean, why even do the qualifiers? You know, just let everybody get in. You know, like it's... I don't know. I don't like it, but you know, what are you gonna do? AJ10, the U.S. should never ever miss a World Cup now. I mean, if that's insane. I mean, the reason it's crazy to me is because they're gonna open more slots in the Middle East. They're gonna open more slots in CONCACAF, and it's like, so we're gonna have worse teams in Saudi Arabia in the World Cup. Number one, okay. And although, look, does it suck that the U.S. didn't make it for some people? Sure. Does it suck that Italy didn't make it? The Netherlands, Chile, does it suck that didn't make it? You know, would I have loved to have seen them in this world? Like, would I like to see Chile in this World Cup? Yes. Netherlands, hell yeah. Italy is one of my favorite teams to watch. I hate that they're not in it. But the World Cup qualifiers, they're exciting to watch. Like, you know, like it's because they mean so much. Like especially when you get to that point where they gotta win this game or they don't make the World Cup. And those are like much watched games. You know, but now, you know, we're gonna have, you know, Scotland. No offense to Scotland, but I'm just saying, like, everybody's gonna make the World Cup now. You know. Now, on the other side, I could see the argument of, hey, what about the people from Ireland? They want to see their team in the World Cup. They're going to get to watch it now. I mean, FIFA's going to make more money now, obviously, you know, but the qualifiers are going to suffer because of it, you know. So it is what it is. What are you going to do? Haplotype, Victory, Stallone movie with Pele in it. Decent flick. I'll check it out. Boxing fan, Russia had easy games so far. Yeah, I know. Like that's why it's kind of hard to gauge where they're at. And let's not forget, man, Russia's not that good. Okay. They're playing great right now, but it was against Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Now it's hard to take away the credit because I mean they did better than Uruguay did. So for what it's worth. Miguel says Maradona should have 2 World Cups, but they gave the game to Germany in 1990. He also scored with his hand, though. That was an illegal goal. Okay, the hand of God, that was a little illegal, but you know, I'm just saying. So maybe it broke even, you know. B Marsh Boxing, Lukaku, De Bruyne, and Hazard are a nice trio for Belgium. I suck at pronouncing a lot of these European names, so forgive me. Belgium, I can't wait till they beat England. I can't wait. I've been waiting for that game, man. I can't wait for that game. I just can't. I can't wait for it. And if I eat my crow, I'll eat it. Right? But I can't wait for that game. AJ10, book it. Somehow China will make the World Cup in 2026. Oh, man. Has China ever made the World Cup? Does anybody know that? B Mars Boxing, Italy, my favorite squad, and it feels weird that they're not in the World Cup. Holland, too. Yeah, it is weird, especially both of them. You know, it's crazy. Especially Chile. You know, they won the South American Championships. You know, I mean, that's crazy. They won the Copa America, and now they can't even, they're not in the World Cup. And that's crazy to me. You know? I think all the Confederation champions should get in automatically, in my opinion, but that's a whole other story. Boxing fan, even Mexico and the U.S. have had it easy in the qualifiers. They do have it easy. If Mexico, or in this case the U.S., obviously like this year, don't make the World Cup, that's on them. They got it easy. You know, I'm just saying. Like, if they don't make the World Cup, they don't deserve to be in the World Cup. You know, like what? I don't want to see more trash teams in the World Cup, man. Like I'm just saying. Anyway. Egypt isn't a bad team. You know what? They're good. I mean, they're not bad at all, but I can't say the same about Saudi Arabia, right? Even though they play good today, you know, but that's probably the best game I've ever seen Saudi Arabia play. I'm not joking. I'm not saying that to be funny. Okay, that's probably the best game they ever played. It's like they told him, hey, you guys don't play better, you're not going to be invited back or something. Something happened. All right. That or Uruguay just is not, you know, I don't know. It's hard to tell, man. These first 2 games, it's always hard to tell. So we'll have a clear picture after the 3rd game. Russia will hack the scoreboard to Sabotage. Boxing fan, what do you think about VAR so far? VAR. Who's VAR? Get back to me on that. Egypt were many times African Cup champions. By the way, maybe I'm ignorant to this, so forgive me. Does Egypt qualify? Do they play against other African teams in the qualifiers, or something? They don't play with Iraq and Afghanistan, all these other teams. I mean, it could explain why they look better than Saudi Arabia, but I'm saying China made it one in 2002. By the way, 2002, man, I love the atmosphere over there. I think that was the South Korea Japan World Cup. I love those games, man. It's probably one of my favorite World Cups so far. I mean, it wasn't fun watching Mexico get eliminated, you know, but other than those I said, I was good. Bruce, Mexico caused an earthquake celebrating Lozano's goal. Imagine if they win the World Cup. Just don't jump at the same time. All right. They paid Brazil. North Korea also made it in 2010. I remember that. I remember North Korea there. That was surprising. Miguel says the hand of God was followed by one of the best goals ever against England. VAR is the instant replay system of the World Cup uses. You know what? I haven't even noticed it from the games I've seen. Them implementing it, which is probably a good thing. You know, implement it, get the stuff right. I've always argued that when people are like, "Oh, it might be too time consuming." Look, somebody scores a goal, somebody could review it, right? And if it turns out somebody used a hand or something like that, then they could make the proper call. If there's a penalty in the box, I mean, come on, you gotta at least give it a review, because a penalty is almost this 80% chance that they're gonna score. You know, you want to make sure it's the right call, so they don't have to do it for everything. You know, you don't have to use it for was that out of bounds in the midfield or something like that. Okay, but when it comes to anything in the box, goals and stuff like that, penalties, just I'm all for it. So I like it. I like it. All right, Prince White Charming. Yeah, Egypt play in the Africa region. Okay, all right, gotcha. Video assistant referees, VAR. I guess they're using the technology tennis uses or something. Are they using that, or was that just like a? I thought that was something Fox had for some reason. All right. Do you remember TNA had a World Cup of Wrestling? No, I don't remember that. Haplotype, sorry to change the subject, but Broner says he's retiring. What do you think this deserves Hall of Fame? I don't know. I don't think he deserves Hall of Fame. Now, Jamie Chavez, I think Mexican fans over celebrated the win over Germany. How about let's save it for when they finally advance to the quarterfinals? I agree with that, but I mean, you can't blame them for celebrating. Like you don't beat Germany when you're expected to lose and not celebrate. Like, you know what I mean? You got to celebrate, right? You got to celebrate when you score that goal. You got to celebrate when that whistle blew, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be 100% honest. When Mexico scored that first goal, I had a feeling like Germany's gonna score. Like I just knew it. At the last 10 minutes, I was like, watch, they're gonna score. I just know it. Germany's gonna score. And then it didn't happen, So maybe it's the start of a broken curse, but we'll see. We'll see if they get to the quarterfinals. Prince White Charming, Broner, HOF, Hall of Fame, LOL. Yeah, I don't think it's the Hall of Fame. If he wants to make the Hall of Fame, he should stick around, win a couple more fights, win some significant fights, and then we can talk, But then again, there's people that I don't agree with being in the Hall of Fame. So, hey. AJ10. Imagine if Mexico comes second in the group if they don't take South Korea and Sweden. Oh, man. Seriously. Yeah. And you know what I'm thinking? That they might win the group and still play Brazil, which is insane, right? That would be insane. By the way, I've always wanted to ask this for those that saw it. If you guys remember 2002, when Borghetti made that goal, that header against Italy. And that was another game where they were playing a powerhouse and then Italy tied it. Because that always happens with Mexico, but this time it didn't. But anyway, do you guys think that was luck or skill? That goal? Because every time I see that goal, I'm just like, was he fortunate, or was that intended to go in the goal? I don't know. I honestly don't know. John Molina and Paulie Shore, like Jersey Shore, are Broner's biggest wins. Boxing fan, this World Cup has had a couple upsets so far, and a couple of surprising. Even it didn't go, it still went the way we thought. It didn't go like we thought. Paulie Jersey Shore Melanagi. Gotcha. How about that? People are saying 4 titles, 4 weight classes. He deserves Hall of Fame. I'm saying Baltimore has a better signature victory. Yeah, right? Referring to Zab Judah. Zab Judah win. That was a big win in terms, yeah. I mean, pretty much. It was a big win. Is Borghetti better than Chicharito? I think so, says Miguel. Man, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. I like Borghetti, man. I don't know. I don't know who's better. Or worse, Mexico loses to Switzerland or Serbia in the round of 16. Oh, man. Well, I can't get worse than, who was it, Bulgaria or where the fuck they lost to? What was that, 90? 94? All right, let's see. Santana, I'm calling it now. Mexico goalkeeper is this year's wins the Golden Glove. Yeah, he had a really good save, man, in that set piece. How type? Yes, Judah. AJ10, you don't want to peak in the first match. Boxing fan, best Mexican player versus Germany. I like Terrera. Guardao. Cyber Slayer, England almost messed up. England's going to lose to Belgium, right? Prince White Charming, Borghetti is not better than Chicharito. Chicharito did well in Manchester United. Borghetti struggled at Bolton Wanderers. I mean, I'm pretty sure at a club level you have a point, but as far as with the Mexican team, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. As far as intangibles, I mean, Chicharito's probably better technically. Chicharito makes a lot of mistakes at times, says Miguel. Borghetti header was legendary. But was it a fortunate one or was it skill? You know, was it a combination of both? Was it I'm going to hit it and there's a certain percentage chance it's going to go in? You know, I don't know. Miguel says Borghetti had a long neck. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I caught up with the comments there. Okay. Boxing Fan says that the Mexican win over Germany changed your mind on Osorio. Of course it did. I mean, yeah. I thought Osorio was, you know, I wasn't one of the people saying, oh my God, Willie him. I wasn't one of those people, but you know, I was, the jury was out, you know, I mean, the jury was out. I do hope what Mexico does need though, they need to stop switching managers like this, like porn stars switch panties. You know, it's honestly, every time I turn around, they got a new manager. Like every time I turn around, man, what the fuck happened? You know, they always have a new, like, slow down, slow your rolls here, right? So another incentive in Mexico making it far in this World Cup, okay, is that if they can just stay with Osorio for a while, keep a specific system, and see where it goes. You know, keep them for a couple more years. You know, stop switching around all the time. It's fucking annoying. Osorio's a decent coach. AJ10 says sometimes he makes too many changes. But we'll see, man. Hopefully he doesn't make all these dramatic changes and it blows up in his face and he loses to South Korea, and I might change my whole mind. But with that said, who says if Mexico beats South Korea, they're set. Yeah, especially if Germany wins, they'll have the 6 points there. I mean, there you go. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. And if Germany loses and Mexico wins, and that's a guarantee round of 16 right there. Guarantee. So at the end of the day, I don't think that'll happen, but we'll see. James Chad, no disrespect to the legend, but I'd rather not see Marquez come on the field again. Man, if anything, just keep him there if somebody gets injured or something like that. Okay, I don't want to see Marquez in the field either. All right, I just don't. So, well, that's it. Mexico will switch coaches even if they win it all. Well, what can I say? All right, guys. Peace out.